Yeah, well, staying with the war in Ukraine, drones have become a key weapon for Russia's war strategy there, allowing them to carry out mass attacks. But Kyiv has become skilled at adapting on the battlefield. A new type of low-cost drone is allowing Ukraine to fight back against Russia's onslaught. And even NATO is taking notice.
This new type of drone exploded onto the scene in early 2025. Over the course of the year, it has begun to play a crucial role in the defence of Ukraine. Known as interceptors, drones like this destroyed more than 1,000 Russian Shahed and other drones in just 4 months. One operator says using a model called the Sting from Ukrainian manufacturer Wild Hornets, he managed to shoot down 11 Russian attack drones.
I was very surprised, but not too shocked by it. Because so much time has passed, so much effort has been made to get to this goal. Russia fired more than 44,000 Shaheds and similar drones at Ukraine in the first 10 months of 2025. That's a 4-fold increase on last year's figures, according to the US Center for Strategic and International Studies. The new interceptor drones are being deployed to counter the onslaught. Back in spring, they were almost unknown. Now, they're destroying dozens of targets.
Interceptor drones have taken their own rather important niche. It's not a magic pill. It doesn't eliminate all the attacks on the country, but they take away their share of Shaheds.
This mobile unit, made up of 3 operators, recently used the interceptor drones to destroy 4 Shaheds in one night.
This is a Shahed that was flying at civilians. It was destroyed 3 days ago by our team. It was carrying 50 kilograms of explosives. It exploded in the air. The debris fell on a clean field that was far away from people. This is all that was left of it. The engine, the wing and some parts. Everything else burned down.
One organisation that's providing the military with interceptor drones is the Come Back Alive Foundation. Funded by private donations, they have helped the interceptor crews destroy 10,000 targets, including nearly 700 Shaheds.
This drone came about because of a lack of funds. It was conceived of as an alternative to conventional air defences, because spending a significant amount of funds and resources on conventional air defences, on one downed Orlan, Zala or Supercam, is quite expensive and not very rational when you can shoot them down, or hit them with drones that cost a maximum of $700.
Since unidentified drones began causing disruption at European airports and Russian attack drones violated NATO airspace, other countries have also become interested in Ukraine's interceptors.
NATO countries are not ready for modern warfare. They're not ready for both infantry warfare and air warfare. We had experience. We, the military, presented our drone in a NATO country. We demonstrated how effectively one of NATO's Shahed-like drones was shot down. And they were surprised, because of the cost of the Sting is only a few $1,000s, and the cost of a downed drone is tens of thousands of dollars.
For these soldiers, the hunt for Shaheds is just beginning, and they're already looking forward to making a difference.
The excitement is very high when you've destroyed one, and you want to destroy them, because they hit people, everyone who's innocent. People who are suffering from these Shaheds, my relatives are also suffering from this. And that's why there's even more adrenaline to stop it from flying anywhere.
Well, I'm joined now by James Rogers. He's Executive Director of the Cornell Brooks Tech Policy Institute at Cornell University in the U.S. Mr. Rogers, it's good to have you with us. You know, we've heard since 2022 that drones are now a major weapon of war. So with that in mind, tell us how effective Ukraine's drone campaign has been in the war against Russia.
I think it's safe to say that if it wasn't for Ukraine's capacity to produce drones and deploy them on the scale that it does, then Ukraine might not continue to be in this fight. They have been vital on the battlefield as tactical battlefield weapons, replacing much needed artillery, which they weren't able to get from European allies. And then if we look further afield at more strategic strikes, they have been targeting key Russian nodes, infrastructure to do with oil and gas, and port infrastructure around the Black Sea that has degraded the Russian economy, and of course also its naval fleet.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Let me start with these interceptor drones that we showed in our report. Can the effectiveness of this new type of drone, this new technology, can it help persuade Russia to change its course in Ukraine?
Well, I hope so, of course. But in the numbers that it's been deployed so far, it really is a drop in the ocean. As your report correctly stated, these interceptor drones take down maybe 4 or 5 a night, 700 in total. We heard from your guest. This program needs to be ramped up because Russia has the capacity to deploy 700-800 of its Shahed drones on a nightly basis to target Ukrainian cities. We saw just on Friday in Kyiv that we had 6 people who were killed, civilians, as it targeted tower blocks. And this is a problem that is continuing night after night across the country. But it's these interceptor drones that potentially, if that production can be ramped up, like President Zelensky wants to around 1,000 of these drones a day, well, they could provide that perfect low-cost precision solution to redegrade that Shahed capacity.
But in terms of the war as it stands right now, the lesson we're learning from Russia is that it's quantity, not quality, that counts when you're fighting a war with drones. Am I reading you right?
Depends what you want to achieve. If you want to terrorize the population and target morale, then of course it is quantity, not quality. You don't need to worry so much about precision if all you want to do is target a civilian population. But if you want to fight like Ukraine and you want to be precise in your targeting and have strategic effects against key critical infrastructure, then it is precision that matters. And it is also the technical capabilities. And that also matters for interceptor drones. If you're sending these systems at high speed to intercept incoming weapon systems, then you have to make sure they work. This is quite literally a life and death situation.
It would seem then, standing on the outside, looking at the situation, that with what you're saying, that it would make NATO countries and the United States basically, want to knock at the door of Ukraine to invest in this technology. Is that what you see?
But we've had a lot of talk recently, especially with the incursions in Poland, Estonia, and Denmark, about NATO and Europe building a drone wall. And I think that as a first line of defense, especially in the border regions, you would see that any interceptor drones like this would have to be a priority. Not only are they affordable and they are scalable, but by the looks of it, with some battlefield testing that's taken place, they are usable in denied areas, meaning that they can get through Russian electronic warfare capabilities. And that is just incredibly important right now.
Yeah, and since we're talking about drones, I have to ask you, that there have been incidents of unidentified drones causing disruptions at European airports. Russian attack drones have also reportedly violated NATO airspace. Are European and NATO countries, are they ready to deal with this new threat?
No, put simply, I don't think anybody is ready to deal with the drone threat. I've been working on this issue for a decade now, since our first drone incursions. I took part in the investigation into the drones that shut down Gatwick back in 2018, and we've had our first hobby drones violating sensitive sites from 2015. This is a problem that has quite literally been on the horizon for a decade, and it's one that we've failed to respond to with a generational lack of investment in air defense systems. But it's Ukraine that's leading the way on this, and NATO needs to add that investment in there and to make sure that they can really benefit from this learning curve against drone technologies.
James Rogers at Cornell University. Mr. Rogers, we appreciate your time and your insights tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.